Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about a very important, a very fundamental principle of law known as stare decisis. This is a principle you will hear a lot about if you are preparing for any kind of law entrance examination, whether it is CLE, whether it is MHCET, whether it is CLAT examination. It's a prevalent and a very important legal principle. And this legal principle is the principle of stare decisis. Now, what is stare decisis? I'm sure all of you are aware that certain times when trying to convince the courts to pass an order in their favor, the advocates will cite an old case where the court has decided a matter. What enables them to be able to do this? It is exactly the principle of stare decisis that enables them to do this. What we mean by stare decisis is that sticking by what has been decided. And what this principle says is that once a court has fundamentally established the position of a law in a matter, then that has to be continued. If I were to explain this to you in a simpler manner, there is an old adage in English known as no need to reinvent the wheel, because wheel is an invention that works perfectly fine, so you don't need to change it until and unless there is a requirement for that. So similar to there is no need to reinvent a wheel, we follow this very principle. Now let me explain it to you with a very simple example of how this principle of stare decisis works. Imagine one day you're sitting in your class and one of your classmates walks in late into the class. The teacher asks your classmate, "What happened? Why are you late?" And your classmate replies that, "Ma'am, there was heavy traffic on the way due to an accident, and because of which I could not reach on time because the bus got delayed." The principal or the teacher allows your classmate to sit in the class. Now, what happens? The next time you are similarly late due to some accident on the road, what will you do? Will you take the punishment, or will you cite the fact that such and such thing happened and that the teacher had earlier given leeway to the to another student and allowed them to sit in the class? You would do exactly that, right? That is, after you tell your teacher that, "Ma'am, I am late for so and so reason because of such and such accident, my vehicle got delayed or my bus got delayed and hence I am late." And this time the teacher tells you that, "No, you cannot sit in the class, you are late and you have to go meet the principal or I am going to punish you." What is going to be your reply? Your reply is going to be, "But ma'am, on that day when he came in with the same excuse, you allowed for that to happen." And that is what stare decisis is precisely. That you tell the court that a certain decision has been made in an earlier manner and we should stick by it, because the principle of justice, the idea of justice dictates that the law should be applied in a similar manner to everyone. I hope the principle of stare decisis is very, very clear to all of you. If anybody has any more doubts about what stare decisis is, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll be glad to answer all your queries.